Exclamation everybody, and welcome to Gangs of Space. It's an early access title by a Little Big MMO. It is free to play. It does require a third-party login, which is the sign in there. You can sign in through Steam with your Steam account ID. You just have to give them an email address and stuff. And then everything is hunky-dory. You might ask, why do we need to log in? Well, this game is a shmup with roguelike elements, and it's an MMO. Three things that I don't know that too many people have tried to put together. Also, it's sci-fi and in space, as you might imagine, since it's Gangs of Space. Now, I started playing it last night when it was launched yesterday. I recorded my session there, but I didn't record any commentary. I wasn't feeling up to any commentary. I just recorded the video in case something interesting or weird happened. Nothing did. A lot of times when you jump into an MMO, I'm always worried that I'm going to miss something important about the story or something else, and I want to make sure I capture that. There's nothing. This literally just drops you right into the space station and gives you a few tooltip pop-ups, and then, you know, rubs its hands of you and says shove off. So let us log in, and I will try to do some justice to what is here. Now, it should be noted, this is an early access game, so you're not seeing a final product here. So, you know, just keep that in mind as we go. I am all the way back to level 1 again, aren't I? I guess that's what they mean by the roguelike elements, eh? So you start out, you have to build a ship, and they give you this Meter light fighter for free. That's these little credit thingies. You get these little credit thingies as you go around and do stuff in the world. Yeah, they actually literally put me back to level 1 again. Huh. Well, that's fun in games, I guess. I guess that's the roguelike element there. I had made it all the way up to level 5 at one point, but then I got murderized. So now I guess we're gonna have to re-climb up that particular ladder. See, I've got 98 of those little credit thingies, so you know I've been doing stuff. Shipping cargo, you can see all our different. The cargo bay is pretty limited, but you can pull things out of cargo bay, make them active, or you can come back. There's a little warehouse thing here, so wherever you're at in the world, you can actually drag your items to here, and it'll go to your warehouse, or you can convert them directly to DNA. DNA is basically your XP that you get in the game. And let's see, gang. I'm not a part of any gang, although I could create one if I so desired. I'm not going to do that because I have a feeling there might be a gang created a little bit later that I would want to join. Not putting any pressure on anyone who might be a junkie of space or anything like that. Hint, hint. But navigation is where you can go and warp to. It tells you how many players are in an area, and there is basically it's a conquest mode now. Since I'm in level 1 through 4 again, I'm back to tier 1, but I was at tier 2 at one point, and essentially you can see how much of the world has been conquested already on those. How much of those areas have been taken over already. The idea is that you fly around, you fight enemies. The enemies are NPCs. You don't fight any players as far as I know just yet. It's all PvE. And the objective is go around the map and hold on to various points on the map. And once you hold on to them for long enough, they get removed from the map, and eventually you'll free an entire sector of that map, and then there's several sectors in the map that are all different levels. And then once you get to 100%, that's it. You just move on and you come back here and go find something else to navigate to. That is the gist of it. Bug reports, subsystems. There's a codex here. I don't know exactly how this is supposed to work. I mean, it just kind of tells me what I've gotten as far as upgrades, I guess, but it doesn't tell me much else beyond that. So I think what we want to do is let's find something that hasn't been conquested yet. Let's take this one. It's like 3%. We'll warp there. I should have a gun and everything because I just bought this ship. And use WASD to move around. I'm using mouse and keyboard, so the mouse will aim your gun in a direction. And they do have a nice little streamer coming off of here, so you can tell where your gun's actually pointed, which is fantastic. So that's all good stuff. And then there are upgrades and stuff that you can buy along the way, obtain along the way, that will give you faster speed and maneuverability and better shields and all that stuff. You see all my stats down here with shields and everything. And also like the different gun placements and stuff, you know, what buttons do what. But if I go here, we can look at the map. Now the idea here is you see all these other players flying around. So like I said, the idea is that you go to all these little green areas and you've got to sit on one of those green areas. It's automatically points you to the closest one. For a certain amount of time, as you sit there, enemies will spawn in and you have to fight them off. And then once you fought them off and stay in there long enough, it will disappear and you'll be one step closer to actually freeing this sector. Then once this sector's free, you can move on to the next one. These are both level 1s. This is level 1, this is a level 2. So, and then you get into some of the higher ones, level 2s over here, level 3, so on and so forth. And then once me and all these other players have gone and cleared out all these zones, this will be all done. And then every time you clear out one of these zones, you get a little bit of those credits. So I think this one says there's like 19 SP in 10 zones. So it's like 19 credits you get out of the 10 zones that are in there, and so on and so forth. So that's where we stand there. So and also from here you can autopilot to anywhere you want. You can just click on something and just go right, it'll take you right to there, which is nice. You'll go actually at a faster rate than you would normally. The only problem is I don't know what the key is to get in and out of that thing. So I end up struggling to navigate between that view and the other views. So here are some NPC enemies that have shown up because I'm trying to take over this section. You see I've just taken that section over. And I'll come in here and it'll spawn a few more. These are all low level guys obviously because we're still in a level 1 zone. And you see their bullets are pretty slow and rather anemic. And you might be saying to yourself, well, that's no real challenge. And yeah, you're correct. Thing is, what happens later on is that they'll throw tons and tons more enemies at you. And so even though all the bullets are going really slow, there will be times when there's nothing but bullets on the screen and you're trying to dodge in between them. So it still can get you. It did get me. And the enemies aren't necessarily faster or more maneuverable, but they do fire their weapons far more often at times. Now I did mention that the game kind of just drops you in. Like these purple guys are a little bit more deadly, as you can see, and I just got hit by one of their mines, which is wreaking havoc with my power systems, I imagine. So I did mention that the game kind of drops you in here. It's not immediately obvious as you're playing here what you're supposed to do. So kind of feels like they need a little bit more in the tutorial as far as that's concerned. I kind of figured it out once I moved into one of these zones and it's all captured a zone there. I don't know if they're going to have other modes of play or if it's always going to be conquest. I don't know. I could see this getting pretty old pretty quickly if that was the only mode that they offered. Now see, I'm in a different sector now, but there's still more in this sector to be taken care of. So I'm trying to... Oh, nope. Actually, they just pacified this, so I got a reward of 5 SP plus 1 bonus SP. There we go. Now I'll move into this sector and start taking some of these on. So taking some of these territories. Now, if I'm part of a gang, I think you get like a little bit of a bonus for everything that you do. I am not a part of that yet, so I'm not getting any of those things. Now, this guy dropped the unicorn, so I can hit E to pull that in. I can either convert that to credits, or is that what they call it? Whatever they call it, DNA. I can convert that to DNA if it's not any good, or I can use it as a component on my ship if I so desire. Or I could just throw it back into my warehouse if I want to use it for, like, sometimes you'll get stuff for different ships that you don't quite have yet. Like, there's a different class of ships, and I like to usually put those in the warehouse. I think the warehouse is persistent across your deaths, I believe. I imagine that's how it would work. I can't imagine it not working that way, because that would be kind of weird. So, you know, that kind of encourages you to sort of hoard things that are decent. Not necessarily throw things away, especially if you know you're going to be doing another run soon. So yeah, it's a lot of this. It took me, last night when I was playing this, it took me about an hour to get up to like level 5. I don't know that I will do an hour recording here, but I at least want to show you some territory control. That territory is now ours. Come up here now, and oops, these guys are all firing synchronously at me. And you can see, based on the size of the zone, it takes longer to capture it. And obviously, depending on how many people I have, friendlies I have, that also matters a bit. And as we go, it'll tell me how many credits I will get eventually if I stay here. Like you see, it's going 2, then 3, so on and so forth. It's based on how long you've been taken over, how long you've been sitting here. So it does really rewards the people who have been trying to conquer a sector more than those who jump in at the last minute. So that does kind of encourage you to, you know, even though you might jump in at the last minute, you'll still get some reward, but you won't get as much of a reward as the person who's been sitting here taking on enemies for minutes at a time. Thank you. Try not to take too much shield damage here if I can help it. So you see how they do throw a lot of enemies at you. So even though the bullets themselves are anemically slow, there's a lot of them on the screen, so it does become a bit of a minefield, as it were, to try to navigate. I don't quite know what the numbers are around my ship there. I assume that one number is my shield strength, like the 45-50%, or maybe that's my power level. I don't know exactly what that means, and the game doesn't really explain any of that from what I've seen. Now maybe it explains it in maybe the codex or something and I didn't read it, but it really is not, it's really mum about what that percentage actually is. I thought maybe it was like how much power my guns have, but it seems to only go down when I get hit. So I don't know what to make of that. You see, I get some extra credits here for staying on there so long. There we go. Now let's come over to, and I've also leveled up. So while we're trying to capture this, it's probably not a good time to do this, but while we're trying to capture this, I might try to level up here. I like that they put little dots around your ship to let you know where what vector the enemies are coming from. You probably can't really see it that much because it blends in with the bullets, but there are like little dots there that are like, here's where the enemies are coming from. Let's see if I can clear out some of these guys. Let's come up here. See if I can do my level up while we're doing this. All right, let's get armament or fired high rate or a pilot. Let's get the armament and validate. There we go. So they're very much about you kind of staying engaged with what's going on the screen and not navigating menus, which is kind of nice. Let's take whatever that is, please. There we go. All right, let's get out of here because it's getting very hot. The LZ is hot. Also, I've got more waiting for my shields here a little bit. Taking a little bit of hull damage, it looks like, according to the bars there. The health and stuff, they've made sort of the same mistake that other games make. They put the health way over in the corner where you can't really see it. It's not where all the action's happening. So there are numbers there, which is nice. I like that they put numbers and bars, but I, for the life of me, can't read them because they're just not in an area where I can pay attention to them. Hopefully they'll put those in a little bit more prominent area, somewhere closer to where the action's actually happening. Like, I mean, yeah, well, I say that knowing full well that there are bars right underneath my ship, which is nice. I like that. But I think having the bars plus the numbers underneath the ship would be great too. I apparently have another level up here. There's also a danger rating up at the top there. You can see how much danger you're in. I don't know exactly what that affects. I don't know if that gives you a bonus. When you kill things, if you have a lot of things around you, like the danger rating's high. I don't know exactly I don't know what that entails, honestly. Okay. Now you probably noticed that my tractor beam was showing up red there a little bit. That's because it changes from blue to red when your inventory is full, when your cargo is full. So you don't waste any time trying to collect something that you can't collect, which is nice. Okay, we've taken this area. Very good. Let's do a level up while I'm thinking about it. We'll do generator maybe. Okay. As far as how much difference do those level ups make, I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't. Nothing, like I said, it's so early access here that nothing is really explained or made clear as to how things affect you. So there's one where you can see it's red there. Now I could go into my inventory while I'm here and try to swap things around while we're trying not to get hit. What is that? Transforms all your energy into structure at a 21% ratio. I could do that if I wanted to. Unicorn and shield. Shield recharge, shield cooldown. So that adds different attributes to my shield. What is this? Transforms all your energy into structure at 20% ratio. Dedicator. Gives me extra structure. Alright, this one I don't care about. Let's put this. Oh, that's a different shield, huh? Okay, so shield is 200. What is the shield on this one? 75. Oh, okay. That's not something I want. So let's just get rid of that. G bulleter is 33 solid damage, fire rate 2.74. What is this? 2.631. Okay, this one looks better. Replace that and we'll get rid of this one. And 253 on this shield. What is this shield? 200. This has got more stuff on it. Alright, we're putting you there. And we're going to get rid of this one. We're not sending you to the thing. And energy to shield. Nah, I'm not going to worry about that. Just get rid of that. There we go. Alright. So we've done that. Got other players here just kind of hanging around. They're probably doing the same thing I was doing. Let's see. Do we have a... Okay, we got to come over here on autopilot. Let's do it. This area is almost already taken. Almost taken already, I should say. So, there we go. Let's come down here and see if we can help out a bit. Even if it's just a little bit. Oof, lots of bullets. And there we go. The sector is ours. Let's kill the rest of these guys. If we can. If we can, we'll kill the rest of these guys. Alright, and there are just more players there. Alright, so it looks like we have taken the entire sector. So time to head back to the barn, as you can see everybody else is doing. And I don't know what all the question marks are. I think the question marks must be the gang that owns it. And right now, since I'm not part of a gang, they just say question mark. I bet that's what it is. That's probably what it is. Alright, so we've done that, and now we're back here. I could just throw this in my warehouse. So be it. And now it's just a matter of rinse and repeat. So we'll bring up the nav menu. I am at level 3 now, so we still can't go up to the tier 2 yet, but I can go to, let's go to the 8% one, 7 players on it. Warp on over there. Conquest points. CP is conquest points. That's what that's called. Just trying, don't know all the terminology yet. One thing I did notice, there is a bug in the game where if you when you fly in, if you happen to think that you're gonna, sometimes, like I flew into one area and then I accidentally hit up instead of down because it was the position of the portal, you'll automatically go right back through the portal again, even if you just have been there only for 2 seconds. And it's kind of a pain in the ass because you have to then go through the whole warp thing again. So hopefully they put like a cooldown on that or something where it's like it doesn't immediately suck you out to someplace. It'll give you a chance to confirm that you want to go somewhere. Alright, come on down in here. I'll help you out, Soul Felt Seeker. Hell of a name. It's a hell of a name, but I'll help you out. Let's go. I'll let them head for the other one there. I'll go over here and grab this small one. If there's a complaint I have is that a lot of these zones, as you can see, I think these must be just randomly generated or something. Because a lot of them are like tiny little zones like this. And it's kind of a pain. It's kind of a pain when you're going from one tiny zone to another tiny zone to another tiny zone. It's like, how about we combine a few of these and make it a little bit more of a challenge. You know, I get that these are nice little small challenges, so that, you know, you don't get completely overwhelmed by enemies right away. But it's it feels very I don't know, like it feels like you're just kind of painting by numbers a little bit. Like you're kind of stuck just doing like small little incremental things instead of something a little bit more significant. Like something like this is okay because it feels like you're actually making a difference, and it gives you a reason to like hang around and try to be good, and you know, you can sort of, it gives you a reason to have other people show up and help out. You know, you could be typing in chat or whatever to do that. I don't think there's any voice chat in this. I think it's just text chat right now. I honestly haven't done anything in text chat. I don't think I've seen anybody doing anything in the text chat because it's usually too much. There's usually too much going on to deal with it. We are all three of us are just like, yeah, let's just get this done. See how fast we're taking over zones when it's just the three of us. There. Go. And oh, we gotta go down here and take this one on. Let's do that. Do. Music's not half bad. It's a little bit repetitive. I think there's only one song, or maybe two. They're kind of forgettable in that regard, but they work. They're not, like I said, it's not the worst music I've ever heard. It's not the best either, but it's something. It doesn't it doesn't match the action that's going on the screen, but it's something to keep you keep your toe tapping anyway. Let's keep these guys at bay if we can. Where's the other? Well, that's the star there. Oh, it's right here? Really, this little triangle of space? It's taking forever to do. Alright, that's another sector taken care of. And so it's a lot of this. It's a lot of rinse and repeat. I mean, there's not much else I can say about it. This is what you see is what you get right now, my friends. It is still early access, so I'm sure there's a lot more to come. It's just, it's not, there's not a whole lot of depth to what's here right now. I'm hoping that they'll be looking at doing a lot more in-depth things. Something that will be a little bit more than just, you know, something. Give us a, you know, like Conquest is fine, but I'm sure that there's probably some tricks or some kind of gotchas that could be put in there. Like, hey, you know, here's a space station you gotta take out. In addition to standing on this area, you got to do this or whatever, and maybe some of that is going to be with the PvP between gangs. Maybe I don't know if actually I don't even know if there's going to be PvP in this game or not. I assume that there is because it's gangs of space, but maybe it might not be the case. I better not I better not go down that line of thought because I don't know exactly what they intend with that. So maybe when you're going up against other players, maybe it'll be a little bit more compelling. But still, I feel like if you had certain things like turrets to take on, or space stations, or natural phenomena, like maybe, you know, hey, this thing's in a nebula, so you might have to deal with your shields not being effective or something to that effect, you know? Oh, look, we're all so many people here just blazing through this thing here. Over to there, I think. Let's see what we get. Take this on. Lots of guys coming my way. That's the end of that. There's one down here, right? Yeah, it's still pointing me to this one. Alright, that sector is now free of the evil controls. Where's the next sector at? No, it's up there. Which they probably already got to. Let's come up here anyway. See if I can do some work. Oh yeah, it's already green. Alright, well I guess I'll help them clean up the rest of these bastards. There we go. Alright, well that seems like the last sector here. Oh, there's... Can I pick this up? Let's pick that up. Someone else couldn't pick it up. Alright, well that's that, my friends. Back to the station we go. So that's how it flushes out. From what I saw of Tier 2, it's more of the same. They throw more enemies at you than what you see here. So you might be looking at this going, oh, that's a lot. That's actually a lot of enemies they're throwing at you. Well, they throw at least quite a few more. So it gets a little bit harder from that perspective. Also, the bullets hurt a little bit more than they do in this tier of level. So there is that. A weapon that shoots solid projectiles. That's 28 solid damage. This is 33. That gun sucks. Oh, I see they have the little percentages next to it that I couldn't see because of the colors of them. Yeah, that gun sucks. Go into there, please. And this is what I was talking about. This one requires an Astrolax, which is the other type of ship that we don't have yet. If I go under build new ship here, you see these down here, they're all locked. I have to get to what? I thought it was a certain level. I think I have to get to level 10 in order to unlock those, and then you can buy them with the conquer points or whatever it is. So I'm gonna put this in the warehouse. And this one, 213, is less than the other ones, so we're just gonna do that. And this one, we're just gonna do, well, wait a minute. This one's better than the other one. Item cooldown, energy structure conversion. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Well, let's get rid of that. This one, all your energy into structure at 20% ratio. Okay. And this one requires a level 4 ship. That has a less cooldown, but less percentage. Yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of that one too. So the warehouse is what? Gang subsystems bug report. I forget what the warehouse button is. I thought it was on the menu here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Personal storage, warehouse 1. Alright, so you can see what I have in my personal storage here. This one, I had a better shield there I could have used when I first started, but whatever. Look at that. These are mostly for the Astrolax and stuff. And then this one is energy to structure conversion of 21%. That actually is better than what I got. So we're going to take that and replace it with what I have in my warehouse. So the warehouse is persistent across deaths, which is nice. It looks like you might be able, there might be a way to get more personal storage, more warehouses, because it says warehouse 1, but that'll be interesting to see. And then the Empire News Network just tells you how many enemy forces are in this galaxy. You can see there are about 9.1 million enemy forces. So every time you kill an enemy, they actually quote unquote permanently die. Eventually we would clear out the galaxy and conquer it, but that is unknown as to right now when that would happen. So that's nice little, that's a cool little thing though. I like that. I like that, you know, even though it doesn't seem like it, they actually do, every enemy that you kill, it does actually make a dent, as it were. Supremacy Inc. It's way up there on the CPs, huh? Code line. Yeah, esports. Great. I wonder what else is on here. Oh, that opened up my browser. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted at all. I did not want that in my life. Alright, never mind. Never mind. We won't look at that any further. Yeah, cool stuff. So I am at 613th on the player ladder. I was a little bit higher than that, obviously, but now after having died in that tier 2 area, it's kind of really set me back a bit. Change of ship skin. Don't have anything unlocked yet, unfortunately, as far as skins go. So you can kind of see how they're going here. I imagine, since it's free to play, I imagine there's going to be some kind of real money store at some point that gives you, probably gives you control points or whatever, or some other kind of currency, but it's not here yet, so can't really comment on this. It's still extremely early, I think, for any of that to really flesh out, but I think you've seen the basic gameplay loop. There's no real excuse me, there's no real reason for me to continue yet with this. I'll probably revisit this a little bit later once it's had some more time in the oven, but this has been Gangs of Space, my friends. It is free to play. It's currently out on Steam in early access, and it is by Little Big MMO. There's a mixed reaction right now on as far as the user ratings go, and with, you know, with good justification. I mean, it is kind of a rinse repeat thing. It's not really doing anything crazy awesome just yet, but it does have the potential to be something if they flesh out their modes a little bit more, I think, and flesh out the world a little bit more. But there you have it, my friends. As always, I will leave links to more information down in the description so you can do your own due diligence. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time.